MATCODE participants, colleagues, and SOI and us. So we're really happy to have you here. For those new sports directors or MATP coordinators, sorry. Did someone say Pam? No? Okay. My name is Pam. I'm the one leading MATP initiatives across the region. I'm based in Madrid. I joined the European office almost 4 years ago, and I've been working with the Special Olympics since 2014, which is a long time ago. I'm very happy to have you all here, and I think we can start now with our next presenters.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you for letting everyone in and organizing this meeting. Hello everyone. My name is Lisa and I'm from the Netherlands. And I have the honor of being the project coordinator of our Erasmus Plus MATCODE project. We are going to tell you much more about our project and about all the results that we've booked with the project. We are very happy that you are all here today, and I think I'm really thrilled with everyone who participated in the preparation of this webinar and who is going to be a part of this webinar. So I'm looking forward to the next 1.5 hours. A special welcome also to Barbara, our Erasmus Plus project contact, who is joining us today. And I just wanted to let you know that the goal of this webinar is to share a lot of the great results of the collaboration between the partners of our Erasmus Plus project. Let me see. Yeah. Special Olympics Ireland, Special Olympics Slovakia, and the Academic Collaborative Center for PIMD, also from the Netherlands, and my organization Disabled Sports the Netherlands. Now, already a huge thanks to everyone who is contributing to this webinar. You are going to see a lot of different faces, and we are going to take you through the webinar. Before we start, I want to share some practical information. Maybe you've already seen, but we will record this webinar to put it online on YouTube so that much more people can get the information. If you don't want to be online, please make sure to leave your camera off so that you will not be in the recording. You can ask your questions through the chat function. Try to write your question as clear as possible, and we'll make sure that or at the end of the presentation section from the partner or at the final end of the webinar, we will try to answer your questions, of course. And you can find the chat function at the top of your screen. So you can open the chat, write a question, and send it to everyone. And if you really feel like a question from somebody else is really great or important, you can give a thumbs up to that question to let you know that you really would love to have that question answered by us. And then the agenda of the meeting is we will have a little short kickoff by Niamh and by Pam, both from SOI and from Special Olympics Europe Eurasia. Really great that you are a part of our webinar. After that, I will tell a little bit more about the project MATCODE itself. And then Annette will take you through some of the research that we've done in the project. The fourth part is that we are going to share a lot of great best practices, not only from partners of our MATCODE project, but also from the Special Olympics organizations from Italy and from Malta. We really love it that you are also a part of this webinar. I think that shows that we really try to work together and collaborate as much as we can here in Europe and share everything that's working in the different programs and countries. And we will finish up with a little call to action, time for questions, and we will show you where you can find all the resources and things that we speak about during the webinar. All right, well, that's the plan for today. And I would love to hand over then the word to Niamh, who is a great partner in our project already for quite some time. So the floor is yours, Niamh.
Thank you so much. So thank you. It's so great to see so many people on. So my name is Neve, for those of you I haven't met. I am the Global Manager of MATP for Special Olympics International. And I come to you with 15 years of experience of working with MATP. I am from Ireland originally, but I am from, I live as well in Great Britain and worked as an MATP national coordinator for Great Britain for a number of years. Can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you. You're just frozen.
Oh, okay, you can hear me. And Lisa, can you take back the control of the slides, because I can't change the slides now.
I will do the slides for you, Neve.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I'm just going to give you a little introduction to MATP, which I'm sure a lot of you will know about already. So MATP is our Special Olympics sport for our athletes who have profound, severe and multiple disabilities. And we are really passionate in Special Olympics about growing this sport within Special Olympics, because it is to make sure that no athlete is left behind, and that every athlete, regardless of their support needs, their disabilities, their multiple needs, that actually they get a place to find a sense of belonging in sport. So MATP is motor activities training and sports skill training, but we enable every athlete to choose what motor skills and sports skills they want to work on, and then they train in that, and we give them a unique opportunity in MATP to actually be celebrated for what they contribute to sport. And we are one of the few organizations in the world that are doing something specifically to help people with profound multiple disabilities actually access physical activity in sport. And we're really great at doing this in Europe as well, because if we go on to the next slide and you see the growth globally for MATP. MATP is growing. We had a bit of a dip over obviously the COVID years, but we're growing quite strongly and fastly across the world. So we have about 65,000 athletes globally at the moment for MATP, and over 100 programs that are actually offering MATP opportunities as well. And it is great, and it's because of the fantastic regional coordination that this is happening. So I'm really delighted today to obviously look at the MATCODE project, which is EU funded, which shows actually the amazing things that Europe are doing. I'm not going to give too much away, but globally we're growing. But in Europe, Eurasia, actually, you've got the most athletes in this region than any other region in the world. And because of that, I'm going to hand you over to Pam, who's going to actually take a little deep dive into actually Special Olympics Europe, Eurasia, and the fantastic work that you as a region are doing for MATP. Not just the growth, but also the development of it and the sustainability of it as a sport for people with profound disabilities around the world.
Thank you, Neve. So let me try this. Okay. Here, can you see mine now? Yes, okay. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a small overview on how are we doing so far. And I wanted to share some numbers with you that are census-based from last year. As Neve mentioned, there's a huge growth globally, but also across the region. And I wanted to let you know, for those that are new in here, that we have 29 programs implementing MATP across the region. 30,792 MATP athletes, which is a lot. It's very great. We had a 4.2 of growth this past year, thanks to you guys. 8,233 coaches has been trained, and from those, almost half of them are certified coaches. This is something that we were discussing eventually on how to have them all being certified as well. I wanted to share with you, before going into more details with the programs that are going to present this afternoon, I wanted to tell you how And why are we having this growth across the region? I'm very proud to say that we have very good MATP practices across the region. We have the beach games that this year we experienced these games from Malta and Portugal. We will have Malta presenting about their experiences soon. The adapted skiing that I hope that every one of you here in this call had the opportunity to showcase when you guys were in Turin in Italy this past March during the World Games. We also have some other countries that are doing adapted skiing besides Slovakia and Italy, which were the countries that presented in Torino. And I think this is a great opportunity for you guys, if you have any ideas or would like to know how they are doing, to start doing it if you have the resources. I wanted to share a great example from Austria. They have created an exercise collection and a training package, and they've been doing this for many years now. It's very complete. If you click, you will have access to this presentation, and over there you can click into this link and you will have access to the videos they have created. These videos are very clear. They show you the exact exercises with MATP athletes on how to adapt them. So if you have any time for you to check out the link, you will love the exercise and the work that SO Austria has been doing during these last years. Another great example from Ireland as well is the school model that they have, which is a physical education curriculum. They have the opportunity to develop MATP in some of their schools, and they have access to these resources. And this is a way they have grown their MATP athletes across the country. We have the unified engagement from Slovakia as well, where athletes, teachers, family members, caregivers, and coaches, they have all access to the MATP and they participate on it. So this is another great example. And from Malta, we have a community partnerships, and also from Finland. You guys are working very good on it. And what they do is they offer the day services where they do their MATP work with the athletes that are, some of them in cases, institutionalized. And in here, I would like to offer you another link, which is amazing, where you can share your photos of your workshops, of your events, or of the things that you have been doing across the year, across the, through the year. And this is the Facebook website globally linked. And over there, you will have the access. You can register, you can join the link. And then over there, you will see how everyone is doing. And I think it's a great opportunity for you to meet and to know about what the other regions are doing globally. So please share. As I said, you will have access to this link. So it's a great opportunity for you to expose the work that you've been doing with your program. The next one is that I would like to show you what's the next steps as a region, a roadmap. But first, I would like you to have a look at what we just said about our growing that we are having. As you can see, MATP is in 5th place, and this is thanks to you. We have, as I said at the beginning, over 34,000 athletes, almost 35,000. So this is for you to take advantage of the work that you've been doing and keep doing it. So we're going to work on capacity building, and this is something that our colleagues from the MATCODE project will be discussing about the coach curriculum. Because as I said at the beginning, even though we have a lot of coaches training, we would like them to be certified and to still working with you and keep working with you as long as they can. So we will be listening to it. As you know, we had at first head coach workshop in Larnaca, Cyprus. This was in part thanks to SOI and the funding they gave us. Thanks Anif and Eleni for doing this possible. And thank you all for those to assist. We will also like to work with you in funding opportunities, not only from those coming from SOI, but also regional opportunities. Just like MATCODE, they had a, thank you, Neve, for sharing the link. Just as with MATCODE, they had the opportunity to apply through Erasmus project. So I would like you to motivate you to apply. We can help you with these applications. And if you guys see a regional or local applications through the European Union, just let us know and we'll be more than happy to support you. We would like you to strengthen your local partnerships. Just as I said with the examples of Malta, you can always reach out to us and ask about it. We have now the new resources and tools that SOI has created for you guys. And this is something you can have a look at soon on our website, and you will be amazed of how good they are. And finally, even though we've been having great numbers, we would like to ensure a sustainable MATP program across the region. Again, it's not only about quantity, but also quality. So please reach out to us. Finally, here are our contact details. You know me. Most of them know probably that I'm going to be in maternity leave soon. So I'm going to leave my colleagues' details here from Mateo and Mirek, who will be taking over MATP for some months, and we'll see what's going on next year. And thank you so much. Lisa, this is all yours. You're mute.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pam. It's really nice to see already an overview of a lot of things that's happening, but also what's the impact that we're creating on coaches and athletes because of all the projects that we are doing. So I'm gonna take you through a bit of information about the MATCODE project and what it actually is. So MATCODE actually stands for Motor Activity Training Program, Training and Coaching Development in Europe for people with profound intellectual and multiple disabilities. Sometimes I think in this webinar we will use PIMD to describe the persons who are participating in our projects. And the details of our projects is that we've done a 3-year Erasmus funded project with a lump sum grant, and we did it together with the 4 partners who are going to present also to you today. And I think what's really nice of our collaboration is that we already start planning the project together online before we handed it in to Erasmus, so everybody could really think along with all the activities that we wanted to perform within the project. Well, when we received the grant and started planning the project, we planned monthly online meetings with everyone to discuss the progress of the activities. We created a workspace for sharing documents, photos, and messages. And we also had some transnational meetings. So we visited each country to really get to know each other's culture and also the living and sports and healthcare facilities and situation in each country to really understand differences and similarities and learn from that. So there was a great opportunity to work on the general objective of our project. Eventually, that is to increase the participation of persons with PIMD in the fields of sports, exercise, and physical activity. And we want to do that by expanding the number of people and organizations and coaches who are offering MATP and doing that in a professional and custom way so that it really fits the needs of all the athletes. And the motivation for our project really was that in each country we did have some knowledge, some resources, but like Neve was also telling, after the COVID period, each country had a little bit of a decline of development within the program. So we really thought that working together would really help us with gaining new knowledge, focusing on specific objectives and delivering new resources together. And yeah, I really feel proud of all the team members for the project team for working so hard on these specific objectives. I'm going to skip a little bit to the most important details so that I'll present that to you. So within the project, we did a lot of different things, and that's what we are also going to share with you today. We developed new resources. So for instance, Special Olympics Ireland was the work package leader of creating this new curriculum for a coach course. Eva and Veronica from Special Olympics Slovakia, they created this new poster in which we could really help people to get a grip on the 5 fundamental motor skills. We created videos, a handbook, education for coaches, and all this different research that Annette is actually going to share with you in a few minutes. And of course, we also try to communicate and disseminate about all of the things that we've created within the project, and today's webinar is also a part of that part. And why are we actually doing that? We really think that sport can be a tool for inclusion, and we really feel like that we need to collaborate with schools, care institutions, sports clubs, volunteers, students, parents and family to all make sure that we create this environment in which persons with PIMD can also participate in sports, can participate in our society, and enjoy meaningful sports opportunities. During our MATCODE project, we were really glad that we had this collaboration also with the Academic Collaborative Center for PIMD in the Netherlands, our research partner. And Annette is going to share with you about the research that we've done in the past 2.5, 3 years, which is a really great part of our project and a way of sharing this with all of you. Let me see, I have the first slide for Annette.
Thank you, Lisa.
Perfect.
And the research was not conducted only by me, but also by my colleagues Stephanie Boshuis and Ali Waningen. And I'd like to share it with you. So the studies, we began by mapping the sport context in all the 3 participating countries of this project, in the Netherlands, in Slovakia and Ireland. And to do this, we carried out a survey and interviews, and the overall aim was to clearly understand per country which people, organizations and institutions were involved with implementing MATP. And this would later help us to interpret and explain country differences. So this is an example you see of the situation in the Netherlands. At the center are the athletes, and around them you find many people such as parent, coaches, direct support persons. In the next ring, you see extended family, friends, groups, other networks, and you find also international organizations such as Special Olympics or Gehandicaptensport Nederland, advocacy networks, and online communities. We also ask each country to describe strong examples of MATP in practice. And what we found is that successful elements could be identified at all levels of these circles. Frequently mentioned were the importance of creating opportunities, using respectful terminology, for example, calling participants athletes instead of clients, and also recognizing a wide range of people involved. A key theme was the importance of collaboration. When people work together, MATP tended to be running more smoothly. So we also spoke to coaches, both professionals and parents, and in those interviews, we asked participants to bring a photo made during MATP, which was meaningful to them in relation to MATP. And using their chosen photo in those interviews, we explored what MATP meant for them and for the athletes they supported. And these interviews lasted about 30 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer or shorter. And well, the researcher and an interviewee were there. And also when conducting the interviews in Slovakia, a translator was often also involved to understand each other better. And these were actually very engaging conversations. We used photographs for several reasons. Selecting a photo gives the interviewee a sense of agency because they chose the photo, so they choose also the topic of the interview, of the conversation, rather than the interviewer. And we wanted to understand what MATP would truly mean for them. And a photo helps, yeah, well, also bringing the athlete into conversation and also help you talk about emotions and memories, making the conversation more rich. So from these interviews, we identified themes related first to what was important using and sustaining MATP within a context, and also outcomes, what MATP means for the participants. And well, on both subjects, we are still in the preliminary results, but I want to share a bit with you. So when beginning to use MATP, the collaboration is seen as essential. MATP must become part of the daily routine rather than only an isolated activity. And MATP raises awareness about the importance of the physical activity within organizations. It can motivate professionals. For parents, it emphasizes the value of being, well, consistent and over time in an activity. And it encourages creativity and adapting activities to the abilities and preferences of each athlete instead of fixed activities. Well, within the organization, characteristics of MATP emerge as essential and important. Now, well, as earlier mentioned, consistency and repetition were key. MATP was not something you do occasionally. Also, visual materials, such as photos and videos, we are going to see a lot of them, were seen as very important and make the program accessible and engaging. And also the flexibility that MATP allows activities to be tailored, adapted to the preferences and abilities of each person, was seen as important. Yeah, we also identified broader principles that align with the MATP vision. It encourages people to focus on the abilities rather than limitations. It supports meaningful participation, and it can positively influence parents as well. Yeah, they are the parents. So to explain what MATP looks like in practice, I will use, and this might be a little bit small, but I will use the IDD model. It's a much used model. On the left, you see the domains of human functioning. On the right, you see the actual behavior of a person, and in the center, there's the support persons. Also, well, in the context of MATP and listening to the interviews, we found effects or related to all those domains. First, when you look at human functioning, the interviews revealed several promising outcomes. For example, one coach said, in our group, I see people who feel comfortable with each other and carrying out tasks together. And the other one highlighted the element of choice for athletes. Someone else also noted the pride in seeing what athletes can do, and shifting the focus away from the limitation. When you look at the support, we also heard meaningful reflections. One coach, for example, said, sometimes I wonder whether I have done enough, but then I realized that what seems small to me may mean a lot to the athletes. And these comments illustrate how MATP increases the awareness and confidence among coaches. And finally, we saw beautiful examples of changes in behavior and participation. One coach describes how MATP allowed the athlete to experience feelings of freedom and speed, things that were otherwise difficult to achieve. And these insights help us understand the unique value of MATP in supporting participation and well-being. So in the coming period, we will continue analyzing these interviews. We just started and gain deeper insight in, well, what sort of outcomes there are. And I'm happy I was able to share the first bits with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Annette. For everyone, they did a really great job with all the research that they've done during the project. It really was a bridge, I think, between what we do in our daily practice and bringing that together with researching this. They really describe, share, and validate, I think, the feeling that we all have about MATP. But I think it's really important and really nice that we and you succeeded in, writing this down in this beautiful research papers. So we are really looking forward to, to make sure that everybody can find those researches and uses them to validate, within their organization or outside, the importance of the MATP program and the specific research that they've done for our MATP program. Thank you so much. We already see some highlights of best practices, I think, in some of the quotes that were actually used within the research. And we are going to see more of that when we are going to talk about all different kinds of best practices. As shared, some best practices from the project partners of the MATCODE team, but also beautiful best practices from Special Olympics Italy and Special Olympics Malta. So we are going to take you through some of these great best practices, I think. And we are going to start off with Special Olympics Slovakia, and they are going to present their best practices. Yes, then the word is for Eva. We cannot hear you, Eva. That's, I think, important for you to know.
Okay, yeah.
Hello
again, yeah. Hello from Slovakia. Thank you thank you that you were giving us the possibility to present what we do in Slovakia with MATP. And we will take you through pictures, and we'll just describe the pictures, what we do with athletes, coaches, family members, and with the feelings of athletes. So the next slide will show you that how we are taking care of recognition of the athlete. So each MATP challenge day, each MATP training is done with MATP t-shirts. So we recognize the athletes with t-shirts that they have I love Special Olympics Slovakia MATP, or they are recognized, the standing MATP athletes, they are recognized with that they are MATP athletes. So this is what we are really taking care of, that the recognition of the athlete must be done just every time they practice MATP. Then we have a recognition of coaches, because this is also important. You know that MATP athletes, they need not just one coach, but they need a lot of people around themselves to have fun and to be successful. So we are giving recognition to parents, but the parents, as soon as they stepped on the playground, they are coaches for us, and they are coaches for MATP athletes. Is we have a parent as a coach, we do change athletes. So the parent of a MATP athlete is not working with the son or daughter of her or his, they are working with different athletes. So that's why they have a recognition of themselves as a coaches. Then what we do and what we are really successful in it, and it's successful for MATP athletes also, that we choose and we start the program MATP athlete assistant coach. So we hire our professional athletes. They are also participants of World Games and participants of national games. So they are the real athletes. They can do and understand the starts and finish, and they are working as assistant coaches. So we ask them to kindly to be a part of the opening ceremony, to be a part of the whole MATP challenge day, even of the whole week of training. And they took the role really, really responsible, because what we found out, when you connect MATP athlete with athlete, Special Olympics athlete, as an assistant coach, they kind of listen to each other. I don't know what is it in the universe, but they all know that they belong to a certain group of people and they understand each other. For example, on this picture, I was trying to work out with Marcel, and he was very tight to bend his knee. He refused to bend his knee. And when Michaela, our alpine skier, cycling athlete, she came to him, approached him, talked to him, and he was so flexible. He bent his knees, and it was just a universal connection. So we really do, and we really involve our athletes with MATP training. The other thing to be successful in MATP is to have the rules and follow the rules and be organized on the playground. So what we are doing, what we have been learned from Eleni, the MATP establisher, or the MATP first lady, as I would say, she taught us to be organized on the playground, because this is the first clue and very important thing, that you have to get the feeling to athletes that they are in a really professional kind of sports event. So we are lining up the coaches, lining up the athletes, and also you have to get ready the playground. It's have to be everything has to be ready, and after each each station, you have to get it back to be clear and ready for the other ones to come. Then we also explain that we do sports. MATP is a sports activity. So sometimes the accident happened. You can see an athlete on a wheelchair that he fell down when he was trying to do and perform some push-ups, but this is also a sport. So we don't really treat them as a babies, but the things can happen, and they can be more and more, became a real athletes, because everybody who does the sports, some accidents could happen. And for the reason why we are doing the MATP and we are doing the MATP training and coaches and challenge days is that we want to have our athletes to experience fun in sports. So that's why you see those pictures, that we are doing all the trainings and challenge days with a lot of music, a lot of clapping, because we want them to have fun and to remember these days. If I come back to the starts, when I was talking about recognition, then we found out when the athletes, MATP athletes, most of them are not verbal, but when they see the logo of Special Olympics, when they see the logo of MATP, they can get, and they are getting emotional. So we see that they are, the recognition of MATP is very well, and they see the logo and they are happy because they know they are going to be awarded. So what we are doing, each of the MATP athlete, after the challenge day, they successfully finish. All of them received a gold medal with the Young Athletes Camp and MATP Camp medal, because this year we combine young athletes with MATP, which was a really good decision, and we had a lot of fun. But each year for the challenge day, they have a recognized medal, that this is the medal for MATP, and we have the year listed on that. The other thing what we start to do just 2 years ago is that we realized that MATP athletes it's not enough to give them an opportunity to do sports on the high level, like we do the challenge day, because they have we organize it only once per year. So we decide to invite MATP athletes to our competition. So in cycling, in swimming, and in track and field, we always open a MATP division. So even if we organize a national competition on swimming, cycling, and track and field, we also invite MATP athletes, so they have a more and more opportunities to be a part of the Special Olympics competition. So you see some pictures from this year, 2025. And now what we are the most proud in Special Olympics Slovakia is that we have the global ambassador. He was our national ambassador, Michael Dolinsky, with his father and with his mom. They are all former athletes, so they know that the sport is the best way to spend the free time with their child. Even if you have a child with intellectual disability or the physical disability, the sports is always the best time. So this is our MATP Global. You see the Michael on the World Games. He was awarded because he was so great performing in the monoski. You see the pictures. I'm not going to speak a lot about these pictures because we will show you a video about Michael, how was the way for him to become a world ambassador for MATP. This is a small video of how we do skiing, but I think regarding the time we are running off, we will skip that and we will show you the real video. And just to let you know, this is the video? Yes. Oh, okay. So I will put this video and I will just jump here because tomorrow what we are organizing is the MATP Christmas Bowling Cup. You see the athletes from the last year. And just tomorrow we will have the MATP Bowling Christmas Cup competition. And let's go back to the video. I would like to kindly ask you to join, sit down, listen, and enjoy the movie.
For me, the video isn't running yet, but I don't know if that's for everyone.
Can you see everyone?
No, no, we can't.
Can you see everybody?
No,
No,
Eva.
Eva.
Let me try to take
No.
over control, Eva, then I can do. I can try to
Iedereen
start.
kan hem zelf aanzetten, volgens mij. Lisa.
Okay, Lisa, you do.
Now we can see it. Thanks.
Okay. Super. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's a great bridge actually to Stella and Matilda from Special Olympics Italy. I will start and then you can take over.
So, thank you. It's a pleasure for Special Olympics Italy to be here and demonstrate how important the MATP program has been with the involvement of the student as partner during the World Winter Games MATP unified demonstration. I thank Special Olympics International and Eurasia for giving us this opportunity. I leave the floor to Matilde Dago, Italian coordinator of MATP program. Please, Matilde.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Today, I'm proud to share with you our experience of the World Winter Games in Turin 2025 and the journey of our MATP program during the Games. We involved 74 athletes, including 35 partners, coming from 4 schools and 5 Special Olympics teams. We started by training teachers from Piemonte region schools and giving specific training for MATP inclusive coaches as part of the school project. And we also trained Special Olympics inclusive coaches. We promoted the event among Piemonte teams and Piemonte schools teams. Through online meetings, we trained athletes and partners for the event. We wanted to place strong emphasis not only on the athletes, but also on the partners who were the true drivers of inclusion. Partners were actively involved not only during the World Games event, but through the entire sports season, taking part in weekly training sessions with the athletes. The teams recruited partners and athletes from the local area, while schools recruited them from classmates and carried out regular training sessions through the year leading up to the World Games. We'd like to underline that the partners coming from the schools were actually the athletes' classmates, and they trained together at school during the whole year. The physical education teachers design inclusive training session and inclusive afternoon sports groups. Inclusion didn't happen only on the stage of the World Games. Our partner built it in every weekly training session, working hand in hand with the athletes through the season. And this means that inclusion is not just an event, but is a real achievement. Also, the volunteer at the event came from local schools. They were trained over the course of the year through online meetings and practical sessions during physical education classes at school. They trained both on how to interact with athletes and also on their role during the World Games. There were also classmates that took part in the games as supporters because they came from all over Piedmont region to watch their classmates' performance, bringing banners and preparing a chance to cheer them on. So for the athletes and partners, all of this had a very profound impact because it meant to be an active part of the journey of inclusion. And so they were a part in a world event, so they could live an international experience and they could overcome their own limits. So everyone was seen by an athlete in front of a large crowd in a big arena. And moreover, when they came back to the classroom at school, athletes and partners form new bonds of friendship that really go far beyond sports. And also, the partner changed the way to relate to their classmates with disabilities. The impact of the World Games on the local community was really profound because Special Olympics teams continued their MATP journey and they launched new unified programs, giving more athletes and partners the chance to live such a meaningful experience. And the schools began to involve students with severe disabilities much more actively, especially during physical education lessons, and now are strongly committed to valuing the fundamental role of partner in this inclusive process. And this means that sport is not a privilege for few, but is a right and opportunity for everyone. Now I'd like to share with you the testimony of Silvia, Simone's partner during the game. And I don't know if you have time to read it, but to sum up, we can say that with MATP, every small action becomes an achievement that changes the way you see yourself. And I think this is a very strong message for everyone. As also Eva said before, in addition to the MATP demonstration day, an MATP adapted skiing demonstration was held in Bardonecchia, that is close to Turin, with 2 athletes who took part in it. One was from Team Slovakia and the other one was from Team Italy. And this is the proof that also snow sports are really accessible to everyone. So to conclude, our message is very simple. The future is now. When we give the opportunity to everyone, we can build a really inclusive environment. And I'm finished. And thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you so much. Perfect. So great to see how well sport as a tool for inclusion is so strong, also in Italy. I think we can give the floor to Christabel from Special Olympics Malta.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting us to share our best practices. The MATP program is one of the most popular programs here in Malta, and during these last 3 years, it has become one of our strongest programs. Eventually, it started in 2012. We had the first meeting, seminar for teachers with, of physical education and mainstreams, mainly in the government schools. And from there, then it was implemented. Eventually, it kept on being implemented in the special schools. At first, there was only one special school implementing the program, but now, eventually, till today, we have 4 special schools here in Malta, and 3 of these schools have MATP as a curriculum for their physical education lessons. Recently, I think 3 years ago, the EACEA support, which is an adult training center, an association run by the government, that one of its main things that it does, it takes care of athletes with different abilities. And there are a number of centers around Malta where these resource centers, they have athletes of all ages, which a few years ago, they had no physical education or physical activity during the day. All they did was sit down, do crafts, maybe do some cooking, but there was no physical education. At one point, even because from the results of the healthy athletes, etc., we felt the need, not only Special Olympics, but also the EACEA, the CEO and whoever works there, felt the need that they should implement some type of physical activity. Eventually, and our national director started her meetings, and we till today we are very they are our strong. We have grown together, and they are strong partners of Special Olympics Malta. They implement the MATP every day, so it's part of like their routine during the day. They start with MATP every day doing different activities. Eventually, before we started implementing it in the centers, we trained all the carers and support workers there, which is quite a large number, I think around 250. They had different trainings during the summer. And from there, they started implementing it every day. Then we have our head coach, Marvik, who goes around these centers every day. Obviously, he won't go around the 12 centers around Malta, but he sees that every week he sees these 12 centers. There, obviously, he could even come up with different ideas. If, for example, the carers find it difficulty to implement a certain task, or sometimes they encounter certain behaviors, he is always there to help them. Apart from Marvik, obviously, we have an open door policy, and even sometimes they come here, and we discuss what could be done better, or, for example, what could be implemented for a more challenging skill. Since then, one of the major legacies that our games, 2022 Invitational Games, where most of you were present, that was one of the first biggest event for MATP we had ever done. From there, the numbers kept on growing. Apart from there, we got the university students, PE students, all the physical education teachers from around Malta to participate and help us. From there onwards, we started collaborating with the university, and now we are also collaborating with MCAST, which is another college. And every year, they have a module with regards to MATP. So apart from these who eventually are the future teachers and who eventually will encounter athletes with different abilities in schools or in different associations, because most of them also coach after school hours or after work hours. One, they are already trained and they have an idea. So like that, even we are building a more inclusive sports associations here in Malta. And apart from that as well, we have some of the younger MCAST students, which like I said, it's a secondary like college, who today are the unified partners to most of the athletes of MATP. So MATP is also played, let's say, unified. Like I said, from the 2022 games, there was a very big impact. It left a very big impact on a lot of educators and the Maltese in general. It became one of the most popular programs. Apart from the growing numbers, we got a lot of families to join in, be participants, having their athletes participate in the events. So apart from the MATP being implemented in the adult training centers, obviously we have also, MATP is also one of our programs in Special Olympics. So we do have the after school weekly training sessions with regards to MATP. Like I said, we do annual modules, lectures with regards to the MATP in collaboration with MCAST and the University of Malta. And this year, if I'm not mistaken, in April, so Malta has a sister island, which is called Gozo. It's only 45 no, 20 minutes by ferry. But this island was very conservative. And I think it's about 3 years ago that the Gotitans started to open a bit their doors and accept the fact that they have kids with different abilities. Until a few years ago, only few knew from the family, for example, that they would have an athlete with different abilities. So they would keep them at home, and literally no one ever knew, for example, that particular family was an athlete.
Chris, you're breaking up. You're breaking a little bit. We can't hear you.
Okay,
All
right. Can you hear me?
Not very well.
Maybe it's nice to do a little switch to Ireland and check if your sound is working again, Christabel, in a few minutes.
Okay, it's okay now?
No, it's really, no, it's not okay.
Okay.
Sean, maybe you can take over and then we'll see if Christabel can take over after Sean is finished.
Perfect. Thanks, Lisa. I'll just move along the slides there to get to our one. While I'm doing that, Lisa, I suppose just to everyone, we have to acknowledge Lisa's contribution to this project. It's been an absolute pleasure, Lisa, working with you over the last few years. Your leadership has been exceptional throughout this. So I think a lot of the achievements we're seeing on the screen are down to your leadership, Lisa. So thank you for that. Okay, I think I'm on to my slides here. I suppose one of the parts that we were tasked with in this project was the development of a coaching curriculum and then maybe some resources to back up that curriculum. And we felt that once we had trained up coaches, that we needed some resources for them that they could refer back to regularly, just as a reassurance of what they're doing, or maybe to upskill as they went along. So our aim really here was to create a library of videos which were fun, informative and engaging, to showcase a whole load of different activities, not just focusing on one or two examples, to showcase lots of different activities and adaptations. And we felt it really important as well in these videos that we would have athletes of varying ages and varying ability levels. So some seated, some mobile, some younger athletes, some adult athletes, and so on, male and female, and so on, just to showcase the full range of motor activities. The first step then was, I suppose, to identify what videos we needed, and we felt there was a need to have an introductory video that just explains what motor activities is all about and who it's for. Then we broke it down into the different activity stations, the mobility, dexterity, striking, and so on. We also recorded a video then of athletes playing boccia, because sometimes we see motor activities as an individual sport or an individual activity, but we also felt it really important to acknowledge that, you know, group activities and little bits of competition, while it's not a competitive sport, but little bits of friendly competition within the activities was also an important piece to include. And then we also included a piece on how to run a sample session. Just again, for new coaches, we give them the theory, but they also then have a video to look back at as to what a session might look like. I'm going to hand over next to a colleague of ours here in Ireland, Carmen. And I suppose Carmen is probably the most positive motor activities advocate that I've ever met. And you know, Carmen, we're delighted to have you as part of this project as well, and to talk through maybe the process, because I know your workplace was hugely supportive and very involved in the development of these videos as well. So over to you, Carmen.
Thank you so much. So as Sean has said, you know, after we have actually identified the videos that we thought were needed for coaches to want to get involved with MATP, our next step was to recruit the actual athletes that were going to take part on them. So we work very closely with my club athletes and their support person, coaches, families. And from the beginning, we wanted to make sure that the videos reflect the true diversity of an MATP athlete. So we aim to recruit children, as Sean has mentioned already, adults, men, women athletes who use walking aids, and those who don't, including wheelchair user. This way, coaches watching could see a sample that felt familiar and relevant to them, but also we wanted the athlete themselves to see themselves represented so they could feel recognized and included in the project. To reinforce this, we introduced the project to the club athletes and explained what the project was about. Their coaches and their families were informed, and everybody was very excited to step forward. Those that were really wanted to step forward, they did, and with the support from the support person, their families, their coaches, we obtained the consent. By doing this, we made sure the videos were built around the people that they were designed to represent. So step 3, that is already there on your screen, it was to try to recruit and bring a professional videographer on board. So through conversation and sample images of the athletes participating in MATP, we introduced them to the athletes and to the activities that they will be filming. This helped them to gain a more clear understanding of what MATP is, because for not every videographer will understand what is important to capture in an MATP video. They gain that understanding, and before the filming, they have a sense of what to expect and the moment we hope to capture within the filming. By this stage, the athlete has been training weekly, and with the support of their coaches, they have already chosen which activities they wanted to feature in. It was important to me that they have a say on what they wanted to be featured in. And it's also important to this project that they were included from the beginning. So this Special Olympic Ireland, the athlete, the coaches, with their collaboration of everybody involved in the project, we created the final videos. And this was a truly collaborative process from the start to finish. When everybody was happy with the footage, we developed the script. A step forward to working from the completed videos to make it easier to ensure the script were actually clear and matched exactly what was shown in the videos. The key messages here is that involving the athletes make it easier to ensure the script, make it easier for athlete coaches and families from the very beginning, resulted in videos that everybody felt proud of. Step 5, we did the reviewing, which we had been talking. It was a reviewing process all throughout. And as I just explained, this is just a very brief overview of the process, but it can give you a sense of how collaboration shaped the final outcome of the videos that you will be able to see. The videos capture real effort, pride, and enjoyment from the athlete as they completed the activities that were presented to them, and they were chosen by them to be featured in the videos. To give you a glimpse of the final product, here is one of the videos created to demonstrate activities that can help train dexterity in MATP. After the video, you will also see a link to the MATCODE YouTube channel created by Lisa and the whole team, where you can find the full collection of videos along with the many other great resources for coaches, parents, and anyone interested in beginning the MATP coaching journey.
Okay, thanks, Carmen. And that's I've just put that link into the chat function there as well for everyone.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sean and Carmen. And for everyone, we are really proud of all the hard work that Carmen and Sean have been doing for these videos. They look amazing, but they are also really personal and informative, I think, for everyone who wants to really know everything about the program, but also see it happening in a really professional and loving way. So that's a great deliverable, I think, for the project. Christabel, do you want to try if you can finish up your part of the presentation?
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, I started our internet system.
I will try to put back your slides on. Let me see. Yes.
Okay.
I think this, yeah, perfect.
Okay. So what I was saying, I think the last thing that you managed to hear was that annually we go to universities, or Dr. Eleni comes here, or Neve, and we train the future students that will eventually be the future PE teachers or coaches. Lately, we have also launched this program, and it was the first program that we began with in Gozo, which is a small island, a very conservative island next to Malta. It's only 25 minutes by ferry. It's our sister island. And it's now also being implemented in schools, and even they have one small resource centers, which is a special school, and it's also being implemented in this special school, and also in the primary years where there are athletes that fall under the MATP. Apart from that, even in Gozo, there is another adult training center, and MATP is part of, like I said, with regards to the other day centers here in Malta, is part of their daily schedule. But also there we got the teachers, and we trained even the carers together with the teachers to be MATP coaches. And nowadays we also train, and MATP is also implemented with other NGOs. NGOs do implement it in, for example, the respite houses, and they have come to us so that we asking us if they could get the training, because some of the athletes that attend particular schools would have the MATP part of their IEP, the individual educational program, and so they wanted to continue this this activity, the MATP, in general, even after school hours. Like I said as well, we have a group of athletes, quite a large number of groups that come to the MATP training sessions after school. What is nice and unique, maybe a bit different from the other sports programs here in Malta, is that in the resource centers, for example, or even in the after school training sessions, the Special Olympics training sessions, we have peers helping each other. So the clients who, for example, play bocce in the adult training centers, during the MATP session of their friends, they would be there helping out. Helping out with equipment, helping out with a particular skill. And this was very beneficial and a very positive outcome, which got together the athletes more united. It got the athletes more together. me as the sports director, something that I always look forward to, or at least one of my main goals, is to see what opportunities we could give to athletes, not to all the athletes, but also not only the athletes that are mobile, but also the MATP athletes. And this year, we organized for the first time our beach games, and the MATP athletes were invited. What we did is we adapted the games, we adapted them, and instead of, I don't know, like pushing a ball, for example, it would be like pushing or kicking an inflatable ball related to the beach. For example, getting to wet themselves. So we got the 4 key MATP components and we adapted them like we did water games, let's say, adapted them to their ability, but in a different environment. Apart from that, we also launched Unified Sailing, which was a very successful event, and now sailing is part of our program, and we also offer it to MATP athletes. We got sailing boats, adapted sailing boats, which are specialized. Also there, the association, the Sailing Association and Federation got training from Special Olympics. They also provided both specialized lifting equipment where they could transfer the athlete from the boat, from land to the boat, to the sailing boat. And this was done unified. I had a video, but I don't think that it was implemented in the slides, unfortunately, but I will send it in the chat. Something positive, at least what we saw last year, we had some of the MATP athletes transition to other sports. So like some of them could now, especially those athletes that were in between MATP and the other sports, some of them transitioned from the MATP to, for example, bocce. Like I said before, we have unified partners also participating from the university and from MCAS, other students that are participating together with our MATP athletes. They are there for every event, and also at times they visit these centers and are there to organize an activity together with the MATP athletes. And this is something that the MATP athletes really look forward to. So it is not only a big event happening once a year. For us, once a year and having a big event is a lot due to the population. But also this happens, like, for example, every term. And the strong focus is also, as a small country, also providing inclusion through sport, which is, and passing on the message that sport is a language that can be spoken and understood by all.
Thank you so much, Christabel. It was really nice to see all the things that are happening in Malta. It's so many things that you are doing, so it's really nice to see it all together. And lovely if you can send the video in the chat. I think that people will love that. Perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
Perfect. All right. Then I'm going to the final best practice, and it's the best practice from the Netherlands. So during the MATCODE project, we developed a MATP handbook. Of course, we have the resources from Special Olympics, but based on the outcomes of the needs assessment that we've done in the project, we felt like professionals and trainers and coaches needed some practical guides that could really help them in how to offer meaningful physical activities and MATP. So the handbook actually provides in a few different things. So it's quite practical and hands-on, and you can find an explanation of the 5 fundamental motor skills, but also different approaches on how to organize your MATP session, and also some training program schedules and weekly programs that you could use. I think the value of this handbook lies in its flexibility. Of course, it focuses more on the individual abilities and personal progress rather than on competition. And with the use of the handbook, I think coaches can really, see for themselves within their own setting how they can organize the MATP program. And it really also is a great way of having the handbook and explaining everything to the coaches, and then being able to hand it over to their own situation. And the goal is actually just to make it easy to set it up and inspire them to start with the program, so that they feel that they are really educated to start with the program. And actually in the Netherlands, we also use the handbook as a preparatory material for our coaching sessions. So it gives them already a quite strong foundation if they come in, and it helps them a little bit to understand more of the philosophy and the structure and practical application of the MATP program before they enter the training course. And we can also give them something in which we can help them find all the developed resources during our project and on other places in Europe. So we also share the videos, the posters, all the research that has been done, and anything that can really help them not only structuring the MATP sessions, but also advocating for the MATP program within their organization, making sure that they can have a consistent learning pathway within their own practice, but also wider in their organization. And I think that's really, really important for everyone to feel that they are not alone, but to work together and to collaborate within your organization and also on a broader scale. That was the final best practice that we wanted to share with you. And we actually want to conclude the webinar with some final words, I think. I'm really inspired myself also by all the best practices from all the other countries and all the nice things that are already there. I think it's a really nice way of sharing that together with us, making sure that we don't need to invent everything for ourselves again, but make sure to learn from each other. And I think together we really are promoting inclusion, promoting a healthy and physical active lifestyle also for everyone in Europe, but also specifically for those PIMD persons within Europe. And I really loved also to see in all the different best practices, in the research, in how the project is being organized, but also all the different activities, that we really try to see how we can work together with volunteers, with students, with parents, and really make sure that the way that we are organizing sports and the way that we are organizing MATP is something in which we cooperate with everyone that can potentially make sure that we include and promote social inclusion through sports. So I really feel that we are doing this together with all of us, and that really feels nice. And I think it's a way of making sure that here in Europe we all work together and we know how to find each other and help each other out with everything that there is. And for everyone here in the webinar, but also if you check it out later on YouTube, you can scan the QR code to go to the webpage where all the resources are able to be downloaded that we created within the MATCODE project. So the research, but also the handbook, and Sean also already sent the link through the MATCODE YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the videos, download the handbook or anything else, you can all find it over there. I know that I really love the collaboration with Special Olympics International and Special Olympics Europe, Eurasia. So I really want to thank Pam and Neve for working together with us and giving us the stage on such a big scale in Europe to be able to present our project. And a special thanks to Christabel and Stella and Mathilde for also sharing their best practices. And not to forget all my great project team members from Slovakia and from Ireland and from the Netherlands. It's really been a pleasure to work together with you, and it feels like a great way of making sure that everything that we've done is also out there and findable for everyone. I am unsure a little bit if there's any questions in the chat or any hands up from people who want to share something. See, if you have a question, just ask it or put it in the chat or put your hand up. Anything is okay. All right. Well, I see that we are perfectly in time. We are going to put the recording on the MATCODE YouTube channel, and I will send the link in the chat where you can download also the presentation that we shared with you, so that if you want to download the presentation, you can follow the WeTransfer link to be able to download that one. Well, if there aren't any questions or anything, I would really like to thank everyone for participating also.
I would also like to thank everyone. Thanks for joining. As you can see, we have great numbers across the region, great practices to share with everyone, not only with us. So thank you, Lisa, also for organizing this space and the webinar. Congratulations, you guys, on the MATCODE project. This is amazing. And yeah, thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, if you'd like to have more information, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to support. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.